for the beer radio you've been looking for. This is the show that dispels myths, tackles the toughest topics, and makes no apologies for geeking out on beer. Hosted by two guys that drink before they think. Jamil Zainasheff and John Palmer. This is Brew Strong.
Hey, howdy. Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters.
Cheerio, cretins.
Cheerio, cretins.
Man, you're so rangy as a host, Palmer. Just, you know.
such a man of the world.
Yeah.
So worldly. And such a master of accents.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
It's like Mel Blanc is reincarnated.
Just, channeling, that's what I do.
Channeling, is that what you call it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Scott, my dear Scott has just gifted me what did you call the print?
This one is called Wet Hops.
Wet Hops.
Mm-hmm.
It is a hop in the bathtub with the water going in. It's coming from a beer bottle, so it's more like, beer going in. It's scrubbing his back. I saw this as a what was it, oil or what?
Yeah, it's a 40 by 40 oil painting. It's hanging above the women's restroom here at the Hop Grenade.
Oh, see, I don't look around.
No one looks up.
Right, no one looks up. And I always love that. And I told him, I said, man, you should get some prints made and sell those things because it's fantastic. He is gifting me one here, and I'm going to put it up in my office at the brewery.
I was going to say, whose was it before? Yeah.
Actually, he is quite the artist. I don't think you know unless you've seen this.
Oh, I do.
I mean, the detail of this thing, just amazing.
Thanks.
You know what you could do? You could be the one to make my hop tattoo. I was going to sleeve my entire arm in hops. The problem is, I want it more photorealistic. Which I think you are capable of.
I can do that.
And I want it to look great. I don't want, sometimes people put like real girly looking hops. Mm-hmm. Not appropriate for a dude.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
ones,
if just like the hop field growing on my arm.
I can design something for you.
You could do that for me?
Yeah. Well, first off, I followed your advice when you told me to make prints and sell them. I listened to you. Yeah. So now you're telling me to design your hop tattoo. I'll listen to you.
It must have done well for you. I think the only thing that would stop people from buying that is that they don't know it exists.
Yeah.
That, or you're charging $10,000 a print.
Totally. No,
we should put them in the Brewing Network store.
Are they in the store?
No, Justin never really had much interest in putting them in the store.
Oh, come on. I think they're fantastic. I really do.
They fit in right beside the bass boats and canoes and snowboards.
And mountain bikes.
Who would not buy that?
I don't know. People.
If you're a home brewer, I mean, over your bed. Maybe not. The wife may not be happy, or the husband may not be happy.
It's perfect for a bathroom.
Perfect for a bathroom, or perfect for just around in your brewer cave.
Yeah.
Your brewer bar.
Sure, and people have bought them for that purpose.
Yeah. Well, I think they just don't know they exist.
I've never been much of a marketer. I've always I execute
I suck
the content.
At that too.
I do the content.
Where do you go to buy them?
Well, it's kind of a long story. You used to be able to go to a store I had set up for it under a Hop Life brand, but we got a cease and desist from a brewery in Florida that had started, and they were called Hop Life, and they made all sorts of threatening this and that. So the short answer is there is really no place. If you're interested, email me, scott@thebrewingnetwork.com, and I'll arrange to ship one out to you.
Well, there you go. Just have Justin throw them up in the store. He probably wants a cut of the sale.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, probably.
You got to work out the percentage.
Okay, we'll talk off the air.
All right, let's not mention that to everybody listening, because that wouldn't be appropriate.
Not at all.
Okay. Hey.
Well, thanks, Jamil. I appreciate that you like him so much, man.
Oh, I do.
It's my pleasure to give this to you.
That is literally, it's art. I mean, it's not. No, it's not like crap. I mean, you listen to Scott and you think, well, this is like some retard with some crayons. I'm not supposed to say retard with crayons.
Mongo is the.
Yeah, so this is somebody challenged with crayons. But when you see the actual work, it's amazing. It truly is. You're gifted.
Thank you, man. I'm blushing over here.
You're gifted. Yeah. You can go to the gifted Olympics.
Yeah. Get in that line. That's the gifted line.
God. Oh, poor Henry. He's listening to this. But poor Blickman.
Oh man.
Poor dude's paid for this show for so long.
I'm not sponsoring this segment.
I have to question his judgment. I really do.
If there's ever a man that's standing in the gifted line,
it's John Blickman. Oh my God! It's our good friend John Blickman. The guy is truly gifted. As Scott is an artist with the oil paints, John Blickman is a gifted artist when it comes to metal and electricity and just mechanical and just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The stuff that guy produces, the innovations he's done for homebrewing are substantial. I mean, people are now ripping him off on things like the beer gun and things like that. The guy revolutionized how you fill a bottle. At the brewery, we actually use a beer gun when we are taking samples and things like that. And when we send beer to competition, how do we do it now? I mean, we used to just take bottles and cans off the canning line or bottling line. But then Matt at Firestone told me, no, hand bottle them. I'm like, all right. So we use a Blickman beer gun. And we're able to...
You remember at HomebrewCon, there was that data from a presentation showing that the beer gun got as low or lower packaged oxygen than some of the commercial bottle fillers out there.
We were able to get our Prospero down to 15 parts per billion, which is ridiculously low. There's no real commercial bottling lines that can do better than that.
Right. But the beer gun can equal that.
With a beer gun, we've gotten 3 to 5 most of the time. We can get it down to 0. That's
pretty damn
amazing.
Good.
Absolutely amazing. So there's nothing that's going to do better than that. If you're thinking another bottling device will do better than the beer gun, you're mistaken. It is going to give you the best shot at having a great product in the bottle. It's going to give you the best shot at winning a competition. I mean, assuming your beer is good. But, if bottling's the thing that's screwing you up, get yourself a beer gun. Damn thing works really well. And they've modernized it and adapted and improved it. It's fantastic. So there you go. That's the kind of shit that you get from Blickman. So check them out, blickmanengineering.com. You can even send an email to feedback@blickmanengineering.com to tell them how much you appreciate they pay for the show. All right. We were having such a good time with my friend Henry Kirk, who is the innovation team leader at Fuller's. At least that's what I call him. He's...
Everybody else
Brewing.
just calls him that guy.
That guy. And they just call him Henry. Hey, you. We had such a great time with him on the previous show that we're carrying him over to this show because John has actual brewing questions to ask him. I just have lots of fun things. I love hanging out with Henry.
Memories.
He is so much fun, and he's such a great guy. It's just a lovely experience. As you can all tell just by hearing how fun he is. So let's see here. Why don't we?
Well, John had asked a good question at the end of the last show. Maybe
John had asked a good question at the end of the show.
Yeah. Do you remember the question, Henry?
Probably not.
Could you? It was about parti-gyling, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Since you had mentioned that your brewery is made and set up for parti-gyle, parti-gyle is a method that we in the States have heard about a lot, but we, really don't understand, and most of the craft brewers and home brewers here have never brewed on such a system. So it would be a real treat for you to walk us through a typical brew day, and how many mashes you do, how many products you get from that mash, and all that kind of, all those little details that may seem mundane to you, but are really, new for us.
That's a perfect question after 4 or 5 beers, Henry.
First of all, I should say, John, if you're ever in London, please swing by. We'd love to show you around.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
And thank you for How to Brew as well. You've gotten me out of a lot of problems over my brewing.
Thank you.
First thing I should say about parti-gyling is, as John Keeling says, is that it's actually very simple and elegant, really. Because we only have 2 vessels, we can't actually do a... So with parti-gyles, we really just...
Oh, Skype.
Yeah, I might need to end the... Hey, Henry, the Skype is acting up. Let me try and end the call and call you back real quick, all right?
We will restart.
Yeah, we're going to restart it.
Well, and... the way that that Fuller's is set up, there's 2 large mash tuns, and then there's 2 large kettles. That's it. It isn't like, mash tun, lauter, kettle, whirlpool, any of that stuff. It is these 2 large mash tuns. And so they're running 2 brews, and I guess they run. Talking to John some years ago, they run a certain portion. They run this wort out, then they run another wort out, then they blend them, and then they get whatever. That is, the traditional way that's done. One of the cool things is, or one of the strange things is, there are when they go to boil. Right? Everyone finds this interesting. When they go to boil, they know how many pounds of steam it takes to get a certain volume of wort to boil. And so they apply a rate of steam like 10 pounds of steam per minute, and then if they want to boil for 60 minutes, they say, okay, like 6,000 pounds of steam at 10 pounds a minute. That's how they boil. They don't just say boil for 60 minutes. They apply a certain amount of steam for a certain amount of time at a certain rate, or a certain amount of steam at a certain rate.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Henry, are you there? Is it a better connection now?
I'm dipping out because I like my monologue.
I think I'm hearing some echoes.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here. It's a little funky. Anyway, you can continue on with what you were saying before the call got weird.
My best. Okay, so what I was saying was 2 mash tuns with 2 coppers. So the grist cases have about 9 metric tons each. So we mash one the other because we don't quite have the hydraulics to be able to mash them all in at the same time. And then the simple fundamental run off both mash tuns into the first copper. So all the strong worts go into that first copper. So in standard gravity,
Damn you, Skype.
70 perhaps. Oh, hello.
Yeah, we're here. It's just it's bugging out. Skype's bugging out. We're catching most of it, but Skype's bugging out. What do you want to do, Jamil?
So
we're just missing the verbs.
Right. So there's like I said, there's 2 mash tuns. They dough them in separately because they don't have the hydraulics or the power to do them both at the same time. They run both mash tuns into one kettle to get the strong wort, and then Henry.
That's your cue.
Oh, hi, sorry. Yeah, and then switch over to the second copper, where because we've been the gravity is much weaker in that second copper, so it's would Are you receiving me over?
Barely. So you run the wort then from the two mashes into the second copper, and then do you blend those to something or?
Yeah. So what we do is we blend in FV. So for example, a classic FV or 4 gyles. A gyle of ESB. So 3/4 of that first. Okay.
Oh, Skype, you're killing us with our best guest ever. So they'll take the wort from the strong wort, and they will put like 3/4 of that and 1/4 of the weak wort and make ESB. They'll blend it into the fermentation vessels, and then they'll blend.
London Pride will be half.
London Pride is half and half of strong and the weaker wort, and then Chiswick Bitter will be 3/4, 1/4.
Exactly right.
There you go.
This is a fun game.
When are these hopped? I didn't catch that.
Neither did I.
So they're all hopped the same in that. Well, the strong wort gets more hops. The weak wort gets, or do they both get the same amount? I can't remember.
As we know, much more hops.
I bet the Russians are behind this.
Okay, so more hops are going into the first cup and in the stronger wort. I talked to John Keeling about this a while ago, and it's been so long ago I can't remember all the details of it. But the stronger wort gets more hops, and then it's actually by a ratio of gravity almost. I think the hopping's the same, but just cut back because of gravity.
So it's 75% first copper.
25% in the smaller copper or the lower gravity copper, and then they just by blending you're getting more hops into the ESB and less hops into the Chiswick, and 50-50 into the Pride.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
You know what? Hey, during the break,
then because the difference is in the. I'm sorry.
So I was just saying during the break, I'm gonna quit Skype and I'll restart the program.
Yeah.
And we'll try this one more time.
Okay.
And hopefully that'll work. But it's been a fun game listening to Jamil fill in the blanks for you, Henry.
I think
you've done very well.
I actually think I am. I'm kind of surprised. All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, hopefully Skype will be working better right after this.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on 2 gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller, and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making. When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a Certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious. Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Check out their brand new patent-pending mash and boil 110-volt electric mashing and boiling unit. This compact all-stainless unit lets you mash, sparge, and boil just about anywhere that has a 110-volt plug. Double-wall construction adds to efficiency and safety, and a precise thermostat keeps temperatures where you want them. Unlike insulated buckets and converted coolers, multiple temperature rest mashing is easy to do, all for under $300. They also feature the Mark II work pump, a magnetic drive high-temperature pump that does the work of pumps that cost twice as much, as well as exclusive Brewer's Edge regulators and quality Keg King kegs and disconnects. Check them out today at williamsbrewing.com to brews their vast selection.
Like the Lance Armstrong of the beer world. Except for that nut thing. This is Brew Strong.
All right, we're back.
Yes. Come on, Skype.
Let's see what happens with Skype. Come on.
Henry, you there?
I am here.
Oh, man, that sounds better.
That sounds good. All right. John, go with the question.
All right. What is parti-gyle brewing, and how does Fuller's use it?
All right, so we got to. All right, I explained how they did the 2 words, the strong and the weak, and then blended it in the fermentation vessels. The hopping, 75% in the stronger and 25% in the weaker, and that's how you get the different hopping levels. And go.
Oh, you're going to use all that stuff? Okay, great.
I explained it all.
That's sort of it. That's kind of how we do it.
Okay, and then
sorry. I just got so used to dropping out. And I suppose the great thing about parti-gyling is that because we've got the different levels of sugar in each individual beer, that actually really gives the yeast the different levels of sugar. Kind of means that the yeast sort of expresses different flavors. So, for example, in ESB, you get this real sort of tangerine marmalade flavour that you don't get quite as much in the London Pride. So even though it is the same grist, the same hops, they are different beers.
Do you pitch the same amount of yeast in those batches, or do you have a differing amount of yeast that you pitch?
Oh, it's the same.
Oh, so they're all pitched the same.
17 million cells per mil.
Ah, fascinating.
Same oxygen levels. People that are brewers, when we show them around, often ask that question. And the answer is no, it's just straight up the same.
Interesting. That's why you get the different results.
Yeah.
Ah, fascinating. That was one thing I had never known. Okay. All right. How else are the beers treated in the parti-gyle process? What else is different or the same that may affect them? Anything on packaging or dry hopping?
We dry hop the ESB and the Chiswick, so we put some Golding hops into the maturation vessel. Mm-hmm. So a beer like ESB will have 14 days. So it will ferment in sort of 4 days, and then 4 to 5, and then the yeast will be cropped off, and it will be centrifuged, and then it will mature for 14 days before going into our racking tank. Mm-hmm. So it will sit on a bed of hops for 14 days, and then once it gets into the barrel, we have these lovely Type 100 hockey puck hops, Goldings again, that we put in the cask before filling.
Mm-hmm.
So you said the beer is taken off the yeast before dry hopping?
Well, actually, I should back up a little bit. When at the start of fermentation, we put in target hops. So it's there throughout the whole of fermentation. Which, when I arrived, I thought this is crazy. Mm-hmm. You've got to put it in at chill, surely. But what we've learned is that actually yeast biotransformations and how it interacts with the hops is so complex. Actually, by putting it in at the start, you are getting something out of those hops that you don't necessarily get by adding them at the end.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned Type 100, so that is 100%. So it's essentially whole cone hops just pressed together. Because 100, that means 100% of the materials there.
Because we use.
Oh no! Darn!
Oh no! It's acting up again.
Yeah, so they have
probably MI5.
Well, they have Type 100. Yeah, giving out fuller secrets. They've got Type 100, Type 90. I actually never heard of Type 100, but Type 90 is 90% of the material. They throw away a little bit. There's Type 45. There's Type 30 or 35, which, if you've been hearing about the cryo hops and lupulin powder and all that stuff, that's essentially what some people just call Type 30 or Type whatever, where they've removed 70% of the material and all that's left is really just the lupulin and a little bit of hop material. So the higher the number, the more they're including all that vegetal matter of the hops. So Type 100 means taking whole cone hops, I guess, and just pressing them into a little, like you said, a hockey puck to throw in there. So it's just a more convenient formatting and probably reduces the amount of oxygen uptake that will happen in just loose cone hops.
Right.
Any luck?
I'm not sure. I might try and restart the program again because that worked temporarily.
Yeah, I think, but again, it may have just been everyone was finished and traffic improved from the people who started what we were talking about during the break.
It's possible. Well, while I restart this, I meant to ask about the fruit for the goes.
Oh, yeah, right.
How was it? Was it puree? What was it?
So I believe they ended up using a kind of a concentrated syrup for that. I was not there for that part of it. I have, on Untapped, I'm thinking maybe they didn't quite add quite enough. Need to be a little heavier on the blackberry.
Oh, people saying the fruit character wasn't present enough?
Yeah, see, I go pretty heavy on the fruit. So
yeah.
if you're gonna say fruit, just lay it on there, lay it on there thick.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, but in general, the perception of it has been very positive, and like I said, people are just thrilled that it's such a historic brewery that is capable of doing these things, and I don't think people appreciate what they're capable of. When I was at the conference, I ran across the guys from Jace from August Shell. And August Shell, they're 150 some odd years, 153, 157, something like that, years old. So nearly what Fuller's is.
Wow.
Like 20 years younger than Fuller's.
That's crazy.
In the United States. This is one of the oldest breweries in the United States, and they've been operating, ever since. It is one of the most amazing places and amazing breweries that everyone in the U.S. should really be very pleased and passionate about, because that's brewing history.
Yeah, Beef's saying he just did the session. He was here, right? In studio. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
Check him out on the session.
I mean, just fantastic. And it's an amazing place. If you get a chance, it's out in the middle of freaking nowhere, New Ulm. It's worth the drive. Go out there and check out the brewery. But there's these places. They exist for this long because they've got a history of caring about beer, caring about their customer, caring about what they're doing, and being innovative and creative and having the talent. It's a continuous thing, and there's so few of these places that exist that you really should take your time to appreciate these places, lest they be gone in a heartbeat. Places like Fuller's, places like August Shell, places, like Harvey's. It's difficult for them to compete with everyone focused on, well, what's the latest, greatest thing? What was made yesterday? What was brand new yesterday? What was just invented? Right, yeah. And just focusing on that to, it's like, what? I mean, that's great. I love the innovation. I love the creativity, but you are going to miss out on some amazing things if that's all you focus on.
Yeah, you basically should do your brewery trip planning, what you want to see, by how old their climbing vines are. So if they have anything on the side of the building.
If they have old. A 300-year-old wisteria, yes.
Or some ivy or something.
Well, and at New Ulm, I mean, they've got like a deer herd. They got peacocks. They got this brick building, 5-story brick building that's cut into the side of a mountain. So they have lagering caves and all that. It's just amazing. It is so cool. And when I was there, the lagering caves were like, something horribly dangerous that you really could not walk into. But they're like, hey, we'll show you whatever you want. And a Brewing Network listener met up with me, and he's like, ask them to show you the lagering caves. Nobody gets into the lagering caves.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like, I want to see the lagering caves. They're like, really? It's dangerous. That's why they don't let anybody see the lagering caves. Well, they clean those out, renovate it, and now they're barrel aging beer in there.
Why is it dangerous?
Oh, it was like 150-year-old brick building into the side of a mountain.
Oh, I see. It's unreinforced masonry, and they think it's going to crumble?
It looked real sketchy. Real sketchy.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Old school.
They've got these spruce fooders, these giant spruce fooders that they used to lager the beer in. Now they're doing sours in it. They set up a separate place for that.
Oh, that's interesting. So actually, we just did the sour hour last night, and there was a listener asking questions about woods that are not oak.
Right.
So would that be considered kind of like an exotic type of fermentation vessel as far as wood goes? Spruce?
Yeah.
Well, they're pitched. They're pitched so you don't get the character of the wood into the beer.
The ones at New Ulm?
Yeah.
I see. Is that for stability purposes,
or back in the day?
Yes. That they're lined. You don't get wood character.
Currently, or back in the day?
Both.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure that's what Jay said.
That they pitch lined it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
or wax or something.
Okay, because when I was there, he had just set them up and had kept filling them with water, and they were leaking water like crazy. And everyone's like, he's a little nuts thinking these things will work again. And he got them to work.
Yeah, I know they are working, and but I guess I'm thinking that there is no wood character then or now in the beer.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, right, but I don't know that they're sealed off, because one of the reasons to do the fooders they're doing sours in them. That was his goal.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to do lagers in them. He wanted to do sours in them, which is again the innovation of this thing. And
sure.
And so, if you seal them off, you're not going to get the oxygen permeability that you want, I think.
There'd be no difference between that and stainless steel vessel, right?
Well,
yeah.
It may be a little bit more, but I'll tell you, talking about innovation and great things out in that area, great fermentations. Those folks, good folks. I like those people. I went out to Indiana and went to both grain fermentation stores. And I'll tell you, from the top on down, those are good people. That's a well-run place.
Full-service store. Yep.
Yeah, they got everything, and I'm just so pleased that they're a sponsor. I think that, if you are in Indiana, you're quite lucky to have that as your local homebrew shop.
Yeah.
Good folks.
Well, back in the day, they were one of my original customers for How to Brew.
No kidding.
Well, let's not hold that against them, John. I think they've improved since then.
Yeah. Always one of my best customers.
Yes. Speaking of best customers, let's do this. Let's take another break. When we come back, we'll talk about something. I don't know. We'll see.
It's going to be something.
Maybe we'll switch to Q&A. Maybe Henry will miraculously appear on a plane.
I think Henry has skedaddled off to bed. He gave up on it. He threw his computer out the window and turned the light off.
Unfortunately. All right. Well, we'll be back right after this.
Beer tasting games that train your palate, a brewery locator, and the brand new interactive beer style guide. These are just a few of the awesome things you'll find on craftbeer.com. The style guide is a beautiful example of technology in beer. Browse beer style families or turn on the automatic beer style finder and explore beer through color, bitterness, ABV, aroma, and flavor. It's really the coolest way to explore every beer style besides having them all in front of you. Go to craftbeer.com and click on Beer Styles to start the guide. Plus, enjoy the rest of craftbeer.com, the Brewers Banter blogs, beer education, how to host a beer tasting, and the invaluable Draft Quality Manual. Tons of great content that makes your beer better. Visit the new craftbeer.com right now and explore the website that brings you all the passion, camaraderie, and creativity of the craft beer community. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer. Hey there, BN Army. Have you heard the latest at Hop Tech? Since Hop Tech has doubled in size after a huge expansion, Jade and Roberto can stock even more of the best quality homebrewing supplies and equipment. Over 60 kick-ass varieties of hops and malts, monster truckloads of quality brewer's yeast, including White Labs, Y-yeast, and multiple dry yeasts. They even have all grain systems from Grain Fathers and Ruby Street Brew Systems, thanks to Jade, the brand new all-grain brewer. And don't forget about their 10% discount to all BN Army members. Jade and Roberto are waiting for you and all of your brewing questions over at hoptech.com. Hoptech, totally not sucking since 1983.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters, this is Jamil and and I love a bold, hoppy beer, one that spits resin in your face and makes you cry uncle. There are a lot of great hoppy beers out there, but at Heretic, we want to make something as bold, dank, and resiny as possible. We use hops at every chance we get, including multiple dry hop additions. The result is Heretic Evil Cousin. This light golden, 8% Imperial IPA has an easy malt character that helps take the edge off the massive bittering, but it takes a back seat to the in-your-face hop character. We make sure this beer finishes dry so the hops can jump out and slam me in the taste buds. If you can't get enough hoppy goodness, Evil Cousin is your cup of tea. Cheers.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Back to the two guys that know how to turn beer into beer. This is Brew Strong.
All right, we're back. Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that you need to do is, if you're parti-gyling, is water, I think, could become a little bit more important as you're making these lower gravity runnings from a mash. All of a sudden, you need to worry about tannin extraction and things like that. Where one of the things that I think people over-focus on when we're doing our standard single infusion, just one running from a mash, generally you don't get that low into the gravity of the mash to where, most homebrewers are throwing away quite a bit at the end. And that's really not an issue, tannin extraction. But if you're going to do a parti-gyle, I think you really need to be careful about, pH and mineral additions and things like that in your water to support getting those runnings and not having them turn out like crap. I think that's a kind of a critical part. That's maybe one of the reasons that, certain breweries in England, the source water was very important. Well, I'll tell you one way that you can check your source water is through the Lamont Brew Lab. They got this great water test kit that is as precise as you're gonna get, as you'll ever really need. We use the Lamont Brew Lab at Heretic, and that is nice and precise. It's very quick and it's very cost effective. If you're going to be testing your water once, well, sure, just go ahead and send it off some lab. But I'll tell you this, the source water that you're getting changes over the course of a year. As there's more rain, as there's less rain, everywhere that you're brewing in the U.S., your water's probably changing seasonally. So you really need to know about that. And it can change year to year. Drier years, wetter years. So that's the reason to have a brew test kit on site. So you can test it the day of brewing. So you know what kind of adjustments you want to make. Now, I'm not saying you need to, analyze it down to the last little milligram and freak out about it. But I think, in general, just knowing that, wow, your calcium levels have doubled. Oh, holy smokes. Yeah, or gone in half. All of a sudden, you do need to make a change at that point. You don't need to worry if it's, it's gone up, 1% or down 1%. But, those changes, and the only way to know is to have a test kit on hand. And the Lamont Brew Lab, I personally recommend that Brew Lab kit. So check them out. You can get them at lamont.com. You can find out more about it there. It's a company that's doing water testing for forever. And they did brew testing right. But ask your local homebrew shop. Ask Great Fermentations. Ask More Beer. If you don't have a shop near to you, you can get them online. But good stuff. Highly recommended if you're interested in water. And if you're interested in parti-gyle, I think you need to be interested in water. All right, John.
Yes.
What haven't we covered about parti-gyle? We got. What were your other questions for Henry? I will channel the great brewers of Fuller's and answer your questions for you. I don't know if you know this, but I was a brewer at Fuller's for some time.
Yes, you were. Yeah, you were captured on camera.
Being 45 minutes. Yes.
Well, very good.
I was a brewer in charge of the brewery, literally, for 45 minutes.
Can you give your answers?
There's photographic evidence, huh?
Yeah, there is. And can you give them with the accent, please? Can you do the UK accent when you give these answers?
No. Oh. It would take a few more beers. Oh. Okay.
Well, parti-gyle, I mean, so many people I think have misconceptions of what it is. You were summarizing for Henry earlier when you're saying that there's a high strength wort from two separate mash tuns that's run into the first copper, and that is basically a full batch of very high strength. Then they take the second runnings of both coppers, mash tuns, and run it into the second copper. Right. And now those two coppers, I don't know if there's more than two or not, those are blended at different proportions to create the different products. Correct so far?
Correct.
Okay. The first copper is hopped with bittering hops, and is the second copper. When those gyles are blended for fermentation, Henry was saying that that blend that going into the fermenter is hopped again in the fermenter. Kind of a dry hop, but under active fermentation.
Right. So they lay the hops. So all their tanks. My understanding is they have no way of adding hops later on. So once the liquid's in there, you're done. So I'm pretty sure the target hops that he mentioned for the beginning of fermentation, they will throw those in there first, and I think they put them
target
in big,
being a variety.
Yeah, I think they use those in big socks or whatever, and they'll put them in there. So they'll put them in mesh bags, and then they'll run the wort in, and then it stays there, and that's why it's in there for the whole time, however long. Yeah, and then. So because there's not like a port that they can open up and throw things in. That's why when it came time to add the blackberry and stuff, it was like, well, it has to go into the tank and then you transfer onto it.
Okay, and then that fermenter is there for what you said, 4 days, and then it's centrifuged and sent to a bright tank?
Harvest the yeast, they centrifuge it, and I guess, they to a maturation vessel. But I'm not sure if they're, but it goes to the maturation vessel, spends like 14 days there.
Okay. Then
they may add more hops there. I don't know.
Yeah. So there he's mentioned the Chiswick bitter and the ESB are also hopped in the cask or in the kegs.
Right. So they do a lot of they do packaged beer, but they also do, and they do actually do some draft too, but usually only on certain beers. But the majority of it goes into cask, so firkins and pins, and I don't know if they do larger than that. And they'll add, some hops in certain beers, I'm sure.
Okay. But to go back up to the top, we have copper 1 with high gravity wort, copper 2 with lower gravity wort. That's the second runnings, and those are blended. Okay.
Right. So 75% strong, 25% weak for ESB, 50-50 for London Bride, and 25-75 for Chiswick bitter.
Interesting. Very interesting way to brew.
Yeah, very traditional, and especially trying to when you're in wartime and things like that. It's real beneficial to eke out as much beer as you can out of the grains and things like that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's in terms of having a very large mash tun to be able to extract and then say top up with some specialty grain to do additional products. It's a very effective way, economical way of getting the most from a few key ingredients. The product differentiation.
Yeah, and you know me. I don't think anybody should be trying to cheap on their on their brews whatsoever. But I think that it's interesting and fascinating that the character of what you're getting, and like Henry was saying, so at fermentation they pitch 17 million cells per mil. That's what they pitch to all the beers. So it's that's it. Doesn't matter what gravity the beer is, and so they get different character from each of those beers, which is very cool. So
based on the pitching rate to that OG, right?
And you're getting different yeast character. You're getting different grain character from those beers. I think each of those beers is actually quite spectacular.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, if this wasn't something commonly known, you would go, well, no, those are 3 different beers. You're maybe pitching different yeast and using different hops, and you're putting more caramel, crystal grains in these, and you would have this, perception of, based on U.S. brewing or most of the rest of the world brewing, you have this perception of how that beer was actually made. And that's not true. It's like, no, same grist on all. No, it's, same hops. Yeah. No, same yeast. No, same pitching rate. You'd be like, what? That's one of the cool things. And I think that, it would be interesting if people, more gave this a try, and because of, what kind of results you do get.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let me tell you about Brew Guru. John, when you were on your travels, did you use the Brew Guru app from the AHA to help
I did
you?
When I was in Minnesota for Homebrewcon.
Oh, yeah.
It came in very handy there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it not only tells you where the places are, great restaurants, bars, brew pubs, breweries, and homebrew shops, but
I took advantage of the discounts too.
That's right. It tells you which ones give you an AHA discount. So as a member, if you can't pay for your membership through using the Brew Guru app, then clearly you don't drink or eat, or you don't buy anything. You don't brew and you don't drink or eat. If you do any of those 3 things, you can pay for your AHA membership using the Brew Guru app. So a lot of times, I'm always very skeptical about, membership benefit. It's like, I'm not going to use that benefit. That's a benefit you can use. And it will, if you're passionate about craft beer and home brewing, it'll pay for itself. Check it out at the AHA website. What is the AHA website?
AHA.org.
AHA.org. There you go. Check it out, and check out the Brew Guru app.
No, that's wrong. That's the American Hospital Association.
Right.
American Homebrewers Association.org.
See, there you go. American Homebrewers Association.org. So check that out, and check out the Brew Guru app. It will help you save tons of money. You can even download it for free and start using it for free for like a month or something like that. I don't know, 90 days? I don't know. If you don't see the value in it, fine, don't become a member. But I think you will, so check it out.
But it's valuable.
All right, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up the show right after this.
Brewing great beer is a process of continuous learning, and the best books on every aspect of brewing can be found at Brewers Publications, with more than 50 awesome titles like Modern Homebrew Recipes by Gordon Strong, Designing Great Beers, The Ultimate Guide to Brewing Classic Beer Styles by Ray Daniels, American Sour Beers, Innovative Techniques for Mixed Fermentations by Michael Tonsmeyer, For the Love of Hops, The Practical Guide to Aroma, Bitterness, and the Culture of Hops by Stan Hieronymus, and Radical Brewing, Recipes, Tales, and World-Altering Meditations in a Glass by Randy Mosher, plus many, many more. These are the books and the authors with the knowledge to push your brewing farther than you thought possible. And you'll find them all at fine homebrew and book retailers everywhere. And visit the website at brewerspublications.com. Brewers Publications, all the best on beer and brewing. Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support, like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer. Whether for yourself or as a gift, when you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com.
Are you a member of the White Labs Customer Club? If not, you should be. It's the easiest way to earn free stuff for turning in your old homebrew labels from either Vials or Pure Pitch. All you have to do is save your labels and redeem them for things like free yeast, an exclusive White Labs t-shirt or sweatshirt, and even the opportunity to brew with the yeast man himself, Chris White. Signing up is easy. Just go to whitelabs.com/customer club, fill out the registration form, and then mail in your labels. They will return the favor by sending you awesome White Labs swag. Go sign up today at whitelabs.com/customer club. White Labs, pure yeast and fermentation since 1995.
Like the Lance Armstrong of the beer world. Except for that nut thing. This is Brew Strong.
All right. The Homebrew Label Awards are back.
Woohoo!
Submit your artwork at homebrewlabelawards.com. Let your homebrewing peers shower you with votes. They will spray those votes all over your face. The labels with the most votes can win. Bevo, you're looking particularly beautiful today.
Perfect. I'm sure that's exactly
you're
what
looking pretty hot and smoking. I'm just saying, you've been working out. You know, what's going on, girl? Yeah, it's working.
It's the jeans.
It's
man.
working.
GENES.
It's the jeans. You bought a new pair of jeans? That's what Scott says. No? You're not letting your child hear all this, are you?
No, she can't.
Oh, good. There you go. Labels with the most votes can win fabulous prizes. Pretty easy, huh? Last year, we handed out over $5,000 worth of prizes to the winners. And this year, we're doing it again. No labels, no problem. You can check out all the cool labels being submitted and cast your vote on your favorite ones. Help your fellow home brewer achieve fame and glory. That is homebrewlabelawards.com. Oh, so what did you think of Henry? Huh, John?
A delightful guest. I really have to get over to Fuller sometime.
He is fantastic. He's truly just a really, really nice guy, and very clever and very just great to hang out with, talk with, and real passionate about what he does. So,
well, if he ever comes up to Heretic, let me know because I'll pop up there.
Yeah,
it'd be great to hang out with the both of you.
We desperately want to make it happen. He can stay at my house, so that's not a problem, but they got to fly him out. I may just, find whenever the cheapest fares from London to San Francisco are, and then just pay for it myself, and he'll just have to take some time off of work. But would love to do it. Those people at Fuller's are just some of my favorites. Yeah. A lot of great people there.
As you're saying, the beers from Fuller's are classics, and it's was really interesting today to hear more about the brewing process, and I'm really envious that you had a chance to brew with them. That's great.
Yeah, and no kidding, that's like my number 4 top thing in my life was getting to do a brew at Fuller's. I never thought I would ever get a chance to do something
command
like that.
an actual brewing station and all that kind of stuff.
It was, I mean, they had me slinging hoses. They had me, hosing out the kettle. I mean, they had me doing things. You go to do a lot of, collaboration brews. They're like, yeah, just sit here and drink. Don't touch the equipment. They're like the smallest breweries. I go over to somebody's house to homebrew, I bet, and they'd be like, yeah, just sit there. Don't touch the brewery.
Yeah, that lawn chair has your name on it. Just park it for a minute.
We got this. They would not let me touch the brewery. At Fuller's, they're just like, here you go. And then,
here's the keys.
Yeah, they're like,
get your hand on the tiller.
Help with this, help with that. Do this. I'm like, yeah, that was fantastic. Absolutely the best experience I've ever had. And I've had some, not to poo-poo all my other collaborations. I have some amazing experiences. I'm just telling you, as amazing as all those were, I mean, my brews with my friends at Mondo, I love those. I love doing the left-handed giant thing. I love doing the Chrome Herring. I love doing at Malmo Brewing and with Brew House 19 guys, and I'll continue to do all those. Devil Craft in Japan, and the ones we've done in the U.S. with Stone and with Mitch and Tasty, and we've done a lot of great collabs that I really enjoy. But this one at Fuller's was special, really special, because of the history of the brewery, the passion of all the people, and then the fact that they were just like, go for it, man, jump in there, help us out, do it, do the work. I love that. They weren't afraid to let me touch things and be part of it. They were like, yeah.
Probably preferred it, actually, given the sour nature of the whole thing.
Well, they're like, yeah, we want to be able to blame you. I think that was mentioned several times.
What about a keg? Is a keg coming to the Confessional or the Hop Grenade or both?
I tried and tried. So Fuller's is imported into the U.S. by Paul Anner. And I emailed, and I never got a response from any of those people. No. I wasn't looking for, people to, stock it in every local store. I was trying to say, look, just bring a pallet of it out to Wine Warehouse handles it here in California. I'm like, just bring it out to Wine Warehouse. Wine Warehouse didn't even have to sell it. I will use my sales folks to sell the beer for Wine Warehouse. I won't make any money off of it, but I will get it placed. They don't need, bring a couple of pallets in. We'll take care of the rest of it. And didn't happen.
Just crickets? They just ignored it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm like, look, and the people here would be so excited about that. People were really excited about the collab. Everywhere I've mentioned it, they're just like, you're kidding. Fuller's is doing a Goza. It's like, wow. And that's one of the coolest things about it was, here's a brewery with such history, with, so much, at stake, was willing to really extend itself and just, be ballsy, be craft brewers. Yeah. These folks are brewers. It's like I'm saying, they're not a factory producing beer. These are people passionate about beer and that love all the different kinds of beer. They make these great traditional beers, but they love everything. They love trying and exploring, and that's what makes them so cool. And for me, it's just amazing. So I'm going back over in September, and I got to get me some of that, and I got to hang out with my friend Henry. I'm really looking forward to it.
Sounds awesome. Excellent. Can John and I come?
Yeah, sure. Cool. You two can do whatever you want. I don't know.
They sell plane tickets to anybody these days.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Another fine show. Thank you to our good friend Henry Kirk at Fuller's for spending a miserable, half an hour trying to get Skype to work.
But it was probably raining there anyway.
Between MI5, the Russians, and the rain, we did not stand a chance.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what does stand a good chance. Of you contacting our fine sponsors like Blickman Engineering, contact them, feedback at blickmanengineering.com. Tell that guy that you appreciate paying for the show so you don't have to. You get this thing for free. least you can do is send an email. So feedback at BlickmanEngineering.com. Tell John you appreciate it. The bass boats are not quite up on the Brewing Network store yet. Right now, they're doing an oldie but a goodie. They're bringing back the ski-doos, the jet skis.
Yeah, the old Kawasaki two-strokes.
Yeah. Right. They've got a little bit of a clearance going on them. They run a special, for me every show, and you can get yourself one of these jet skis, fully Kawasaki two-stroke jet ski. $300. That includes shipping.
Yep, and they got like Kirker pipes on them. They got some aftermarket goodies. They're awesome.
The Hop Grenade logos on them. You're going to be badass on the lake. So check it out, BrewingNetwork.com/store. There's a limited number of these things. I think there's only a couple of hundred of them. So you got to jump on that right away.
While you can,
it's buy one and just resell it for $1,000 to your next door neighbor.
You can flip it tomorrow.
Yeah. Till then, everybody, brew strong.
Brew strong, everyone.